How do you grow colorful succulents and keep them healthy and happy at the same time? You do it by slowly exposing them to stress. Do you wonder how to make succulents change color while keeping them healthy and happy at the same time? The technique is to slowly introduce stress. Exposing succulents to a lot of stress when they are not yet ready can damage them. But when they are well acclimated, they'll reward you with their beautiful vibrant colors that will surely brighten up your garden. Succulents are drought-resistant plants with chunky leaves. Their fleshy leaves can store water. That's why, compared to other plants, they can survive in challenging locations. Succulent plants are beautiful. They have unique shapes, colors, and textures. Many of them look like flowers with their rosette-forming leaves. They are even more beautiful when they change colors. Let me show you the beauty of colorful succulents. What causes them to change color? It's the pigment. You see, there are plant pigments that protect them from damages due to environmental extremes, like heat, cold, light, and even lack of water. These environmental conditions are stressful for the plants, and when they are not ready, they can get damaged or can even die. But when they're ready and these pigments are present and abundant, they can survive and become even more beautiful. You'll then see them displaying their vibrant colors. To grow colorful succulent plants that are healthy and happy, prevent them from getting damaged when exposed to stressful conditions by allowing them to slowly adjust. For example, when the plants have been grown in the shade and you expose them to the full sun, do not do it abruptly. Rather, slowly increase their exposure until they can tolerate the prolonged heat. The same is true with your watering. You slowly adjust your watering, and when you combine it with full sun exposure, you'll soon achieve the colorful result. And to mimic the desert-like location, you need to amend the soil and make it fast draining for the plants to experience drought as you adjust your watering. But keep in mind that not all succulents will become colorful when exposed to these environmental stressors. Some succulents are more beautiful when green and prefer low light to full sun. Also, warm yet humid locations are challenging for succulents, and they are less likely to change colors in these areas. So, how will you know if you too can grow colorful succulents, especially when the ones you're growing are mostly green? Well, if you see colorful succulents growing in your area, most probably you can grow these colorful ones too. You just need to know which ones can become colorful with stress. Crassulas, Aeoniums, and Echeverias are often the ones that can become so colorful. Succulents getting sunburn can be puzzling to a lot of beginners. Often the question is how they get sunburned when they are native to areas where they get full sun exposure all day. We often forget that most of the succulents we bring to our homes did not come straight from the wild. They are mostly grown in nurseries where they are in a pretty controlled environment. They are not constantly exposed to harsh environmental conditions like in their native habitat. Most of our colorful succulents will need full sun exposure. They will need 6 hours of direct sunlight with no interference whatsoever. The plants are considered in partial sun when they receive only 3 to 6 hours of sunlight exposure per day, maybe just in the morning, and then they get sheltered at noontime. Some succulents can also achieve their colors with this exposure, but will not be so vibrant compared to when they are in full sun. You might have bought a few colorful succulent plants that reverted to green. To bring back their color, they need to be exposed to prolonged heat of the sun and have their watering controlled. But not knowing how to slowly transition them is the biggest mistake. If you are not aware how to do it right, they can get hurt if not given the chance to adjust or get used to the heat first. Exposing them to the full sun right away can cause some sunburn. You can tell it is sunburn due to the uneven discoloration on its leaves, mostly prominent in areas directly hit by the sun. Some are just mild and will show some whitish to pale brown discoloration, while severe ones can cause dark brown to black ugly scars. If the weather is mild, the damage might be mild as well, or there may be none at all. But if the temperature is in the 90s, or if it hurts your skin when you are out without protection, chances are it will probably hurt them too, especially if they are not used to it. In mild cases, the plants will be okay. The marks may not go away, but they will outgrow it over time. As new leaves sprout and old leaves die, those marks too will soon be forgotten. For the plants to be resilient to the heat of the sun without damage, they need to be acclimatized first. They need to gradually get used to the heat of the sun. When you bring home new plants, you need to pay attention to where you got them from. If you got them from an outdoor nursery where they were already exposed to the full sun, then you can place them outdoors in your garden where they can receive the direct heat of the sun without fear of them getting damaged. But anytime you get them from indoor nurseries or covered areas or via mail, do not expose them to the heat of the sun right away. You will not only shock the plants, you will also get them sunburned. You see, some of these plants have natural sunscreen. Those silvery white waxy coatings on some succulent plants protect them from the heat of the sun. When they are in a protected location, those protective coatings also thin out. But the longer they get exposed to the heat of the sun, these protective coatings can come back or become prominent again. Another factor that can cause the plants to get sunburned is when they are overwatered. You will notice that the leaves of overwatered plants expand to allow more space to hold water. When this happens, their cuticle also thins out as it stretches. Their leaves become more delicate, and with the intense heat of the sun, they get damaged. Reflective surfaces can cause some damage too. You might encounter a scenario wherein you did not expose the plants to the full sun, yet they still got sunburned. The light reflected from the wall or from your garage door or from a glass window can cause some damage as well when the light is too intense and the plants are still delicate. Another way they can get sunburned is when you water them when the heat of the sun is already intense. Trust me, those water beads that deposit on top of the leaves can cause some damage, especially when the sun is so hot and water does not dry out fast enough. The water can magnify the heat of the sun, causing dark brown burn spots. You'll know it is caused by the water beads because the burn mark will just be in that area and not in all the leaves. When the heat is mild, it won't cause any damage even though you water at noontime. I hope you learned a lot from this video, and let me take this opportunity to introduce you to my new channel, The Sanctuary. If you are into positivity and stress reduction, this channel is for you. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. Take care everyone. Bye!